Yours is better. Yours is better. My mouthpiece is too tight.
All right. Welcome to live stream number 1 of the Blitz with Blake show. I'm here with a very prestigious and oh so prestigious panel.
Yes. Say that
Don't.
I'm
again.
All
here.
right, one more time.
I'm prestigious. I'm here with Steve-O, aka Corey_Lindsay26.
Twitter handle. Follow me.
And also the ever so infamous that's on my show all the time, Bogart Scott Free.
Hey, happy to be alive. We made it. We made it.
We
Yes,
made
sir.
it.
Oh shit. All right, guys. So tonight we're going to be discussing 2020 as a whole. There's going to be some sports mixed in, and there's going to be some random shit mixed in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one hell of a ride. All right. Let's just kick it off right away with a little bit of sad stuff, right? I'm not a huge fan of this by any means, but in 2020, we lost a legend that is Kobe Bryant. So what we'll do is we'll go around. We'll go to Steve-O first and then down to Bogart. So, Steve-O, your thoughts on the passing of a legend in 2020?
That was dad. Come on now. Like that really impacted the basketball community a lot, especially Gigi dying with them, and everybody on board, RIP to all of them. But we all gotta live on with his memory. Mamba will live on. Mamba for life.
Yup. You know what I'm saying? Man, that shit was obviously death is unexpected. You know what I mean? A motherfucker that knows when he's gonna die. Like even if Kobe did know he was gonna die, it's almost like it's ironic. It's almost like he did because he lived like several lifetimes. You know what I mean? He did accomplish so much basketball career. You know what I mean? And then he actually stepped away and kind of really did his thing as a father because a lot of players they don't really get to be in their kids' lives as much as they are when they're active in the league. You know what I mean? And when he retired, it wasn't like he went straight to broadcasting or some shit. He went coaching his daughter's team and just really supporting his kids. So and me being a girl dad myself, I got 2 daughters and another one on the way. And also shout out to my little man because you know what I'm saying he's the only other testosterone in the room. When I'm looking at him like me and you, son. You know what I mean?
Only me and you.
But yeah, man. Rest in peace, rest in paradise to the Mamba. You know what I mean? It didn't just shock the basketball community. Obviously shocked the world. You know what I mean? And the Mamba mentality is something that'll live on. It's a sense of determination, not so much desperation. You know what I mean? And focus and just the Mamba mentality, man. So that's one thing I think is kind of metaphorical. Is that a word? We're going with it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
right.
it's kind of a metaphor for what 2020 is. You know what I'm saying? Like some shit we're gonna have to endure because that motherfucker he endured it all. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, that shit came in with a vengeance, boy.
Yeah,
man.
what sucked the most too is like you got to realize like not only did like you guys said not only did it affect like the basketball community, but this is a guy that was so much bigger than the sport of basketball. So like it
This
affected
light
people
trips
that
me
don't
out
even,
when I'm on shrooms. Go ahead, keep going.
it's a guy that it not only affected people that watch the sport of basketball, but people that don't even watch basketball, but that were just a fan of Kobe Bryant and the Bryant family. Really, it's like that shit hurt, and 2020, of course, is the year that it happened. Given all the
man.
shit.
Hey, the homie Corey said it here. He said it best. He said it's like dad. You know what I mean? For y'all generation, and like for mine, it was like big bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like he like I grew up a Warriors fan. You know what I mean? And we hate the Lakers, but he superseded the Lakers. You know what I mean? And that's really something hard to do because the Lakers in itself is a crazy ass entity of a dynasty. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like so for him to like be one of the main sit upon not only the Mount Rushmore of the Lakers organization, but just in pop culture in general, you know what I mean? Like, it largely affected everybody, and you know what I mean? It's almost like he was like, all right, y'all, it's gonna get ugly out here. I'm out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
It just really isn't
I
worth
hate
the
to say
basketball
that.
community.
I'm saying that to say a bad joke. You know what I mean? Because obviously the death was untimely, and You know what I mean?
Especially with his daughter there too. You know, that
Yeah.
just uncalled for. That was just unnecessary. Not unnecessary. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And also too, just man, like, you know, the goddamn pilot, man. Like, don't you check like, you know, weather or the sky report? I don't know how that works. I'm not a pilot, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
These are the things I thought of, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because they said he was low flying, and you know, there's a lot of smoke from the fires or whatnot, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, then he hits, you know, because that's another thing too. We didn't really get to put on the list, Blake. You know what I'm saying? Was them goddamn wildfires. You know, I'm from Cali, so you know it was like straight fires everywhere, bro. Like even all the way up to like in Colorado, and you know what I mean? Like it was just crazy. It was literally like if you're a religious person in 2020. I'm not a religious person. I like to eat mushrooms and travel the universe. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I think there's a spiritual thing more with me, more so than religion. But I will say, a religious person would swear it's the end of the days. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had a fucking you had a plague out there. You know what I mean? The cities are on fire and people were looting. You know what I mean? And like it was crazy. 2020. You know what I mean?
Honestly, and if you're a big believer in the Bible, you know God, you really don't think this is the end of days. You know everything that can go wrong has went wrong, and you know everybody's just hoping for a new day tomorrow.
It was prophesized.
Exactly right.
For
Exactly.
real though.
We don't see. We're definitely gonna see, but we definitely hope for a better year for 2021 coming up.
One can hope, right?
Exactly.
Now, next here on the list, I want to bring up something, and let's just state the obvious here. COVID really put a fucking damper on this year, eh?
Yeah.
Jesus
God.
Christ.
You
Say
don't
it again.
say.
One more time.
COVID really put a fucking damper on the year.
Hey, let me do one better. COVID shit on the year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shit, like
Yeah,
took a shit. Literally.
yeah.
Like,
yeah dude, it
Like one of
ruined
those steaming
everything,
shits, like you know what I mean? Like in the dead of winter.
for real. It ruined everything, dude. Like sports, first of all, sports is fucking dicked all year. And then
Yeah, shout out to Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? He was like, all right,
thanks
listen.
a lot, Rudy.
He was like, here we go. Y'all ready for this? Bam. You know what I mean? He went
Rudy
touching
Gobert.
everybody. It's almost like he knew he had it. He was like, listen, I'm touching all the mics. He went into
was
the
the
fucking,
starter.
bro. He was like, he's like, listen, everybody, let's just get this ball rolling because this is the year. You know what I mean? He made it early. What was that in March?
Yeah,
Was it in March?
it's almost like in his
Yeah,
press
very.
conference, he was like, you know what? This shit's gotta happen eventually.
Right.
Right?
I'm out.
Right. He
I
was
mean,
the starter of it all.
Like if you believe in like conspiracy
Oh,
shits, man, there could have been one motherfucker that was like, all right, Rudy, he's the agent. You know what I mean? This is how we put basketball in a bubble. You know what I mean? We're gonna put basketball in a bubble. You know what I mean? Because I feel like eventually as we move towards life, everything will be in a bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm already like I went to go pick up food at a restaurant earlier, and you know all the tables is moved out, obviously for because no one can eat in there, and it's just like a zigzag line, like you know how like back in the days, you ever go on a roller coaster and the wait's hella long, and then it's the little partitions you're in the line and shit. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
line might go all the way around, like so you're in this line in this room. You know what I mean? We're going all the way around the room in circles and zigzags till I get to the register that's like 6 feet from the door I just walked in from. I gotta go all the way around in this line because we gotta wait 6 feet apart from each other.
I
You know what I
swear.
mean? And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this is the world. This is just why like are we moving forward? We don't even need structures like this no more. And so, you know what I mean? But we're all, one can't hope, like BWB said, you know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe the world will get back to normal. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, dude. I actually had a guest at work today that was taking a car home, and we had to shut down half of the dealership so they could do paperwork because they didn't want anyone around. So it's like I had to go up to like two of the other sales consultants and just be like, hey, you gotta get kicked out of your office. Like you can't be in here. My
I'm
people.
sorry. I'm sorry. Like what
Kick racks.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Get this bag real quick.
But let's talk about this part of COVID, or the part that I like to call the toilet paper pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, dude. A guy's just trying to get some TP
Bro.
out here.
I didn't realize how bad it was till really I was out of toilet paper. Like for like,
Oh,
like
shit.
literally like
You
I
start
don't
calling
even know.
around, hey, bro, you got toilet paper, bro? You
Bro,
start
damn
calling
near,
around,
I'm
let me get
like,
a roll.
bro, I'm ordering
People are
DoorDash,
serving in alleys.
ordering DoorDash, tapping extra napkins on the fucking app. Like, like I do. Come on now, like
Oh
this
shit,
cannot get
that's
worse than
funny.
that.
Nah,
Dude,
you know, so I thought about this in the beginning of it all. You know what I'm saying? At the dawn of the apocalypse, as it'll be known as, right?
Like,
So you know what I'm saying? I'm in a grocery store, and you never really think about the magnitude of like when you go down an aisle that's normally filled to the max of the shelf with toilet paper and shit, different brands of toilet paper. You know what I mean? You got the 2-ply and the triple soft shit and all
Everything you
that shit,
need.
right? But then the way it looks visually when you walk down the aisle and it's all gone and it's its own aisle. So it makes you think like you're like, oh my God, it's like, you know, it
Like-
magnifies the fact that, oh my God, it's COVID's out here, bro. Like, listen, ain't no
Like,
toilet
for
paper, bro.
real.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it just the vision of that, the visual of that empty aisle, like it really, you know, it doesn't seem like it's much, but you know what I'm saying? During that time, people were terrified, like, oh my God, I gotta get all the toilet paper I can find because the world is clearly gonna end now. You know
I
what I mean?
swear, I swear.
Clorox products, bro,
Perishables,
like
everything.
if I would have known something back in and see here's the thing is like I traveled like November 2019 and I was in Hawaii and I was out there for a week and like it seemed like everybody was sick out there. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And then I'm from the Bay Area, so like it was already in December in 2019. There's already cases of the corona popping up in the Bay. So it was like,
wow.
yeah, I was going to the NFC. I was going to the playoff games, the NFC Championship, and I'm wearing a mask already, lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when I'm walking through crowds and shit, because I just really, you know what I mean? I was already, and my girl's a nurse too, so it was already, I was on game. Like I was,
Right.
and I'm a regular conspiracy theorist, so I was just like, yo, it's going down, bro. Like it's a weaponized
Well,
shit.
you was
Like,
head of the game.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But so check this out. Like if I would have known something though, to get to my point, if I would have known something like back in December, I would have spent all my bread on some Clorox stock. You know what I mean? 'Cause
I'm
then
telling you.
that one was like gold. Like people were actually selling like the Clorox wipe shits, like just like online. Like, listen, I got them, bro. Like they were only allowing you to pay, buy one triple
$20
like
a
a
sheet.
set of 3. Yeah, only one. So like my girl would wait in line, and then I would be like in the back with my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So we can get 2. You know what I mean? Like it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause we had to wipe everything, bro. We wiping everything.
Bro, I knew COVID was getting like real serious when at work we couldn't get because like obviously selling cars, we're shaking hands and shit, like, but at work we couldn't get like we couldn't get Germex at all. So then they started like dumping like just rubbing alcohol in the Germex to like extend the life almost. And I'm like,
Bro.
you're squirting it, it's just squirting all over you, like it's all water, and you're like, man, this shit's getting bad out here, bro.
Man, hey, I ain't gonna lie. Me and my girl, we got the little spray bottles. We just filled it with the rubbing alcohol, and we just, that's for like quick shit. You know what I mean? Shit, it work, you know what I mean? It works.
That's a game changer.
Right.
Yeah, you know what else is a game changer too? Is this motherfucking like, man, I got the crustiest hands these days. You know what I mean? Like, it's motherfucking
Cold as hell.
It's all bones and shit. You know what
I
I mean?
swear.
Clorox them away.
Boy.
You know what I mean?
Hey, no, tell me y'all have not forgot y'all mask though. Walking into a store, let me grab my mask.
It happened early on.
Oh my god.
Early on, because
Early
I
on,
ain't fucking around. Like I actually, in the beginning, I actually got a kick out of the fact that I could walk into places with a mask and gloves and sunglasses on and a hat, and like, you know what I'm saying, like in the bank. Like I was just laughing, like I'm in the bank right now.
Right.
I look like I'm gonna rob the bank. You know what I mean? But I'm actually giving them money.
If you
know what I
haven't
mean?
thought about this at least once or twice, you got something wrong with you. I promise you.
Yeah,
I ain't thought
real
about
talk.
that at least a couple times. Like,
Like, okay, hey, before the apocalypse, you walk into a bank with a mask. You know what I mean? Like, they on you, unless you're like a little tiny Asian lady, because they were on game for years. Like the Asians, they've been wearing masks because they got hit with SARS before. You know what I mean? They got hit. That was like the COVID-12. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. Like SARS is a form of COVID. You know?
oh, I feel you.
You feel me? So it's like, these motherfuckers like, but yeah, the average Joe like us, you know what I'm saying? We walk in that motherfucker, they're like, you know what I mean? Boom, they hit the silent alarm on that ass.
Hell yeah, boy! They watch you front to back. You better not make no sudden moves. Over with.
Right? Now they're like, you can't come in here without a mask.
Oh man, I walked into a gas station here without a mask on, and I walked in and it was like I felt like I was getting yelled at in school. Like I walked in like, nope, mask, gotta wear it.
Well, think about it, bro. Like
Damn.
you could be
Yeah.
like, okay, you know how many times like I'll be taking out my garbage, right? You know what I'm saying? I live in a lightweight, close quarter living, so you know what I'm saying? A motherfucker might be just walking by to his car or some bullshit. And like, and early on, I'd be noited, you know what I'm saying? I'd be super noited, you know what I mean? Like a motherfucker might walk by and I'm like, oh shit, the wind. Did it carry corona off of him
Right.
and blow on to me?
Don't let him
Because
sneeze.
it was like a downwind and I didn't have my mask on because I'm at my house, right? And I started thinking, damn, do I got the worst luck that I step outside to take the garbage out and a motherfucker walk by with corona on him? You know what I mean? Like, it was like, because you know, they're like, it lives on clothes. They were like saying all kind of corona 19 urban myths. You know what I mean? Like remember they were saying that the hot weather would kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
Like,
remember
just
that.
wait till the summer.
Yeah.
all gonna be
Corona is
gone.
it's a winter thing. You know what I mean? Wait till the summer, and you know, and the sun will kill it. And then places like Texas get an outbreak. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, throw that out the window.
I'm currently in Texas. Let's talk about that. Like currently
And
in
Texas
Texas.
is open than the motherfucker, huh?
Yeah, I'm in El Paso, the hot spot, the big hot spot too.
Oh shit, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not going outside. And you know what too? In Texas, you got you can have your guns on you and they gotta be visible. So I'm just like, listen, you clearly know I'm armed. Don't go anywhere near me. I got a mask and a poncho. Fuck it.
I
you
am
know what
not
I
to
mean?
play with. I am
Yeah,
not
listen.
to play with.
I'm not the one.
Oh my god, you are stupid.
But dude, how about seriously the biggest kick in the nuts of 2020 is how COVID affected sports. Like for real. Like I can't get over the fact that like Major League Baseball just had like empty ass stadiums. Like I can't get over that shit at all.
That was eerie,
It's so
huh?
weird.
With
It's-
with the fake fans. With the
Yeah.
fake fans.
Hey, who was the one? Oh shit, it was with you, BWB. Remember? It was one of. I think it was the first episode I actually did with you on your show. You know, sports was already shut down, so like we were talking about Korean baseball. God damn it! You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. We did
Like,
a whole
we were like,
episode
this
betting
is the
on
only
Korean
thing
baseball.
that you know what I mean? Like that's
That was the
how
only
bad
sport
it was.
going on. Like, so we were talking about Korean baseball in one of the
What?
episodes. And we were picking teams that we liked, and
And here's the thing though, is because I didn't know dick about Korean baseball, but.
But
It was the first time I realized there was such a thing as sports withdrawal. You know what I mean? Like we were suffering from sports withdrawal. That it was like, oh
I
shit.
didn't even know it.
There's Korean baseball, but it's in Korea, so it starts at 3 a.m. in the morning. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? I'm watching it because I'm like, and it's like, whoa, they got, what do they have? Like robot fans?
Is this live? Like,
It was live, yeah.
like what?
He gave us an assignment. He was like, yeah, in a couple days when you come on, we're gonna be talking about Korean baseball. So I checked it out. You know what I mean? A little something. And then like we had to pick teams. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick teams and we're gonna check back in on it like, you know, months later and see if our picks went, you know what I mean? So I was just like, when it came to me, they're like, what team you want? And I was like, give me the Samsungs. You know what I mean? And they already took.
oh yeah,
He's like, they already took. I'm like, all right, well, give me the team with-
Samsungs.
I said like, this, give me the team with the most Kims on it.
there was one team. There was one team that had like 12 Kims on it.
And then, bro, give me that. And they ended up being the worst team.
Yeah, they were
Give
the
me that
worst.
team. I'll give me them with all the Kims. You know what I mean, I think correct me if I'm wrong. There was even a dude. His name, he man, it was so nice. He had it twice. His name was Kim Kim.
Yeah,
And it was just like,
yeah,
you
it
know
was-
what? My parents, you know, they was like, this is a solid name. Might as well just go ahead and give it to him twice. You know what I mean?
Okay, I will tell you though, in middle school, high school, I had a friend named Abdel but his real name was Abdel Ghani. It was crazy.
I knew some new wins growing up. You know what I mean? I grew up with, like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of common for like Vietnamese and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, but it's so funny that you mentioned like sports withdrawal because it literally got to a point where it's like, you know, you're sitting at home and it's late at night and you're like, I missed the
I got
Doosan
nothing to
Bears
drink
game.
to.
Like it's like, I missed the Doosan Bears game, dog. Fuck. And everyone's like, who the fuck is the Doosan Bears?
Damn. Hey,
Bro,
but
okay,
the summer league, they still go on, right? Some of the summer leagues that you
yeah. What are you talking about
yeah.
for me? Are you talking about for basketball? Or are you talking about for what he's talking
for
about?
for anything, basketball,
Oh,
baseball. You know what I
I
mean?
thought they had summer league for basketball. I thought they did. Did they?
Hmm.
I thought they
Yeah,
had
I
summer
They
league for
think
did.
basketball.
Okay.
I thought
Yeah,
they
cause
did.
when in the summer, I was just so happy that like we were inching towards football. You know what I mean? Because we were like, you remember the whole way it was like, yo, is this even gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like, is this thing gonna happen? Like, you know what I mean? Then they're like, all right, check this out, fellas. Y'all can opt out if y'all want. You know what I mean? Then it was like, boom, okay, you have a deadline. Who's gonna opt out? And motherfuckers start opting out, and then like, certain players like a Damian Williams, like he opts out, and then in fantasy wise, it's like, oh shit, boom, that boosts up Clyde Edwards-Helaire stock. You know what I mean? Like, or
Exactly.
like, five starters on the Patriots defense, and they opt out, and then they bring in Cam Newton, and it's like, but he got no weapons, and then it's like, oh shit, did we maybe right then and there we could have foreshadowed the Patriots are going to be bad for once in 20 years, you know what I mean? Or like the Steelers had all these question marks. You know what I mean? Because like, okay, how's Big Ben gonna look taking off the Tommy John? And there's no offseason, no OTAs, no preseason. You know what I
Weak
mean?
opponents.
Right? Like, and then we got
hey,
this.
win's a win, dog.
We, hey, yo, you think you're gonna get past that 11 wins?
We already did.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, but you think 12-4 is you think you go to the 13-3? Because the Browns, I mean, the
Wait, how
Browns
can we go
actually,
13?
the Browns got to win and they're in. But you know what's crazy is that
Yeah.
there's a ton of the Browns secondary. They all got COVID right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter. Mason Rudolph's starting next week. That's a fucking loss.
That's what I'm saying though.
Buddy's
I'm
throwing
like,
medicine balls around the yard.
I mean, shit. Do y'all still
And-
got Duck chilling up there?
Yeah. He's
Man,
still
this
in.
shit, watch, it's gonna be Mason then Duck. Watch, we're gonna see them both. I swear to God.
Where's my boy? Dude, what's his name? Browns quarterback. What's his name?
Baker,
Yeah, where's he at? Where's Baker Mayfield?
he good.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said whatever his name is. I thought that was the
Yeah,
dude. I
he's
thought
talking about
he-
Mason Rudolph.
Oh, my
Big
fault.
Ben they have no reason to play Ben right now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And
they
Ben's
already
hella
said
old.
they already
Yeah.
said they're starting Mason Rudolph.
That's why I thought you said Mason Rudolph was starting for the Browns. That's what I thought you were saying. My fault.
Yeah, so like we're gonna
That'd
see
be
Mason
quite
Rudolph,
a quite a strategy.
or like man, just Kobe.
He might as well be. He's gonna give him more points than he'll give the squads.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'd agree.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Let's
shit.
think about this though too. Like the way COVID just like okay, the Browns they win and they get in, but they were playing the Jets, right? And then like the night before that, all their receivers get COVID. Then they come out and it's like boom, they lose to the Jets. You know what I mean? Like there's been COVID shit, or like most players that were coming off the COVID, they were trash. For a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like before they started returning to their, you know what I'm saying,
Adam Thielen.
high level. But
Adam
then,
Thielen.
yeah, but look at what's his face, man. Lamar Jackson. This motherfucker got COVID, and he was playing bad all year. He gets COVID, he comes back, and he's like, "Oh, I'm good again."
Yeah.
I swear to God, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's so crazy because even just the tracing. You know how it works with tracing. So if they all wear like these wristband things, and if you're like detected within, so if someone gets tests positive, you know what I'm saying? If you were close enough to that person, within a certain radius, because that shit, the little bracelets will detect it. You know what I mean? And it'll tell you like, oh shit, you got tracing. So now we have on precautionary, you can't play neither. You got to test negative 5 times in a row. So it's like if there's a game on Sunday and it's Thursday, oh, you're not playing that game, even if you don't have corona. This is the protocol. Another thing too, like say you go out and you go have like a dinner with some bitch or something. Like, oh, I'm in Cleveland. I'm playing in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I go out with dinner with a bitch. Then they ask you where'd you go? Oh, I went to a restaurant. Boom. Like now you're in the COVID protocol because you know what I'm saying, you didn't get signed. You did something that's not in their in their parameters. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like and it's crazy because these rules started changing as the course of the year went on. Like they didn't do that in the beginning of the year, Players were still going out, having dinner with their families and stuff. Then they were like, okay, no, we can't do that because you might be unknowingly going out, getting, catching the corona, being asymptomatic, bringing it around to the team. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy, bro. Like be prepared to see playoff games moved. If anything, if any of the stars get sick, they're not gonna go and put the product up there. They'll move. They'll be able to wait a day.
Yep.
Like that's why I think what I'm saying. They kind of anticipated this. That every year there's no Monday night. So fortunately this year there's no Monday night on 17 like always. But that's because you need to start the testing right away. Monday, boom. Tuesday,
Exactly.
boom. Wednesday, bam. They got 5 in a row for whoever plays on that Saturday playoff game. You know what I mean?
But how long does it take for a test to come back?
It's normally it's same day if it's
Okay.
rapid, because that's even my girl gets rapid results. You know what I mean? But it's 24 hours, so you get the results the next day. Then you test every morning. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's some shit, because that basketball didn't have to deal with it. That's why they did the bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So with the NFL, the basketball could take a page out of NFL's book and even maybe improve on some of the things NFL did, because now it's like, all right, because basketball's up and running and they're not in no bubble. They're doing it like business as usual. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't really see any COVID cases. You see them like here and there, really, with basketball. I feel like it's really dying down. It's really getting controllable. I feel like just some hotspots are really the ones that are
But
expanding.
also too, these teams now, I mean, basketball always did this, but the NFL, they made this mandatory that even like personnel, like team personnel, like not even players, but people that are important that need to move with the team, they got to fly private planes too now. Like before, they'd be like, all right, just go ahead and you the ball boy, go ahead and jump on that fucking coach flight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like now, team personnel, people that are important enough to go, equipment managers, fucking, assistants, offense assistants, whatever it is, coach assistants. Boom, they all got to fly. They all get to fly private now, because, man, you just can't. Even grown adults, you can't trust them to just follow this protocol to the T, because there's billions of dollars at stake here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Matter of fact, this year in COVID, it directly puts us into having them voting for a 17-game season next year, because an extra week in football is equivalent to an extra week in football for 17 weeks, right? So 17 weeks of football, that extra week, that's like $100 billion in like TV
yeah.
contracts, what is it, merch, whatever the fuck, all the sum of everything,
All
equates to
over
that.
the country, yeah.
They need that, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it's gonna be some shit. Like I feel like this is kind of the way we're gonna be seeing football. You know what I mean?
But I'm hearing, did you hear about that list of the NBA teams that are having actually fans come out?
Yeah. I mean, football was doing it. Certain
Oh,
places.
okay.
Yeah,
I
football.
thought that was only family. That was only like a family
So-
and a guest.
Well, okay,
College football was
like
fan.
like Green Bay, no fans, zero. But they'll be like in attendance. They'll have first response, motherfuckers. Like they'll have like a gang of doctors. They're treating the doctors to a game. You know what I mean? And the firemen, and you know what I mean? And then you go to places like Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? They're allowing 12% or something like that of the audience.
Which is the normal.
Nah, actually, you know what's crazy, bro? Is like I used to make that joke, and then someone actually, it was shout out to Jake. He actually pulled up. He was like, man, see, he's like, we average in attendance about like 70%. You know what I mean? I respect.
They show out.
Cleveland. Yeah, I respect Cleveland fan base. I mean, shit, you
Yeah,
really gotta love them.
Y'all been through a lot.
A lot. Wow.
Yes,
So
this is accurate.
the next topic, obviously, as I stated prior, we're just gonna go over not only sports things but 2020 as a whole. But this next topic is a sports topic. The Last Dance aired in 2020, and oh man, was it a fucking doozy! I gotta say, hey, hats off.
I mean, especially because how old are you, Blake? 23, 24?
23.
So
23.
Oh, look at that. Let's see what I did there. We're talking about Jordan. I mean, I'd imagine for someone like you, because you heard the stories, you probably seen the highlights and the documentaries prior to this, but to see something like this in depth, You know what I mean? Because I was a kid. You know what I mean? I remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit was crazy.
It was really interesting to get like a deep dive because like I was born in '97, obviously like right in the heart of MJ doing his thing. And really like I saw MJ like later on in his
Yeah, as a
career.
wizard.
Yeah, and it was it was whatever, but the to get to see that side of MJ plus combine that with the side of like, he's he's one of those guys you don't realize who he is until you see like how he interacted with his team, and to get to see that portion of it was super interesting to me.
Yeah.
No, no,
You
yeah,
know,
definitely. I
it
definitely
was.
feel that because I really didn't know who MJ was because I was very young, when he was definitely, on the Bulls and everything like that. And especially growing up, I really wasn't even into sports like that until probably my seventh grade year. So like I didn't know who MJ was until I was 13 and watching The Last Dance, knowing all of this and looking back like, oh, Scottie Pippen felt like this, and MJ felt like this time. Dennis Rodman was skipping on in practice. Like, oh, who? Like, I didn't even
Dennis
know any of
Rodman
it.
was a bad motherfucker, bro. He was on
Like I
all
didn't
the
know any of this.
drugs. He was on hella coke,
Yeah.
Molly. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, drink, alcohol.
What's scary is how much he balled out during that still. Like
That's what I'm
it
saying.
just
He
didn't
would go to
matter.
Vegas. He would go to Vegas in between. You know how the playoff games is like separated by like a day or two at the most.
Yeah,
And so you go to Vegas and party, you know what I mean? And then like, you know what I'm saying, jump on a private plane, bang, you know what I mean? Pull up to Chicago, you know what I mean? And
like
ball out.
how? Like how?
Listen, back then, her name, Carmen Electra, she was
Carmel.
bad. She was bad than the motherfucker back in the day.
And
Listen,
he,
bro, like,
and he.
I'm telling you the power of the pussy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit probably put extra pep in his step. He's doing all the drugs in the world, you know what I mean? And he's like rock star status. Like, he came to a point where he was like, I'm not even a man or a woman. I'm both. Like, this motherfucker was like, you know what I mean? He was like, listen, I'm the shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I knew about I had already known the one thing that I did know going in was about the whole like him in like the dress in Chicago or whatever, like in the wedding dress. Like I knew that. I knew
yeah,
about that
because
shit,
it's
but
polarizing.
yeah, that shit like it's so funny to see like his viewpoint and why he did it when he's talking about it. It's just like, oh yeah, it was basically like just to get a little bit of attention and help everything out. It's like, dude, that's a crazy ass way to
It's
do it.
crazy,
Like,
right? Like,
you know what's really dope too is like, and then he tops that with he's kicking it with Madonna, and then then he's fucking Carmen Electra, and he's riding Harleys and he's riding fucking, he's doing donuts and sports cars. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying? He took it. He did the rock star shit, and like coming from playing with the Pistons, and you know what I'm saying, being one of the bad guys that
Bad
they
boys.
hated on. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the
bad
bad boys,
boys.
and like he was like, "Yo, okay." Now he's going to the place where he stopped them from getting it. He was part of that squad that stopped them prior, and then it's like, okay, what we should do? We should get them one of them. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you can't beat them and join them type of shit. Like you know what I mean? They brought him over, and he added a different kind of attitude, and you know what I mean? And like it was, and then it was one thing where like Jordan would like. I even heard Jordan, he had to go in there and slap him one time. You know what I mean? Like he's like, listen, I had to go in there and slap him one time. You know what I mean? You know what I
Bro,
mean?
Jordan was fierce. I heard he was. I heard he was tough, like really tough. I heard Jordan was a good teammate, but was a hard leader. A hard leader.
Yeah. So check this out, bro. Like the most interesting shit to me with that docu series is like how like every man has his vices. You know what I mean? Even when you're
Ooh,
watching it,
yeah.
the motherfucker, you could tell they did several hours of filming. You know what I'm saying? This shit, because not only with the different outfits he's wearing here and there, but always with the cup, and you would see the cup from one duration to the next. You know what I mean? So he's because he's having drinks while he's doing this show. You know what I mean? Or doing the sit downs. And
He
and what's crazy is like when he was telling motherfuckers like about his gambling shit. You know what I mean? Because there was always a conspiracy that maybe the mob killed his pops. You know what I mean? because Jordan was a crazy gambler. You know what I mean? Because Jordan was the type of dude that, like, even the security guards at the Bulls stadium, right, at the Bulls arena, whatnot. You know what I mean? They knew Jordan because Jordan would be like, you know, you want to play quarters? You know what I mean? And they would get Jordan for racks. You know what I mean? Like, and then he just was so competitive but in the gambling nature. Like when he would see them, he'd be like, oh, I'm ready. He would have cash. Let's go. You know what I mean? Playing quarters.
What's up?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever it is, bro, for racks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like, you know, you hear the stories about him. You know, they would bet, you know, like, you know, $100,000 a hole and go golfing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like he would be in a debt for like, you know a cool, you know, M or two. You know what I mean? Like he didn't give a fuck about it. Money was like tokens for gambling for him.
Like, you know what I didn't know about this show that I didn't know about Jordan's life that I found out was about his dad dying, like how that happened.
Yeah.
And that was pretty crazy for me. I was really touched by that. I was like, wow, like I didn't know like it was a whole mugging and everything like that. They robbed him and killed him. It was crazy. So I didn't know that.
Or at least that's what they say, because that's how he was found. And it was like just off the side of some road. Like, you know, like here's the thing, like, you know, you could ease back then, you know what I'm saying? Like in the 90s, right? The 90s was coming off the 70s and the 80s of Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like Mafia shit for real. Like that shit was still around. So, you know, all the greatest movies were made about the shit. So like, you know, we kind of romanticize the Mafia, you know what I'm saying? And like it's crazy because obviously Mafia, the way they got around, they just paid people off. So it's like, you know, it was easy to never have them talk about, you know, the possibility of Michael Jordan's debts and all that. You know what I mean? I think that documentary series was kind of, if there is any validity to, you know, his dad being murdered or taken out because of some kind of gambling debt or whatnot, it could be like this is him getting it off his chest without saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something he wears, he carries with him every day. You know what I mean? Because, and you know, there's another conspiracy theory that the Mafia is the one that was like, yo, you need to retire. Because like, you know what I mean? Like they control game, you know, you had players still, you know, in the 90s and referees, motherfuckers were in the pocket. You know, if you were on a bad team, it'd be easy to shave points. You know what I mean?
But I thought it was more of like a Steve Kerr, more like a trash player, you know, more of a low end player who would shave points, stuff like that, or like gambling,
Yeah.
like that.
No, for sure. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that went on with the Bulls. I'm saying this was what was going on in the NBA.
Exactly. I feel that.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? At the time, you know what I mean? So like, you know, to getting a player like Jordan out of the game for a couple years, you know what I mean? Like, hey, or maybe even, hey, you know, you need to get, you know, you see what happened. You know what I mean? You need to get out the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you better get out. Okay, fine. Then boom, they kill his pops or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this shit is real.
What was interesting is I actually I worked
Conspiracies.
I worked with a guy who he's like mid 40s, and he was telling me the same thing. I didn't even know like that there was like a theory out there that MJ's dad was taken out by the mafia. I didn't know that until I was like talking to this dude I work with, and he's mid 40s, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm pretty jazzed about this Last Dance coming out. It should be pretty good. And he was like, yeah, I'm curious what they say about MJ's dad being taken out by the mafia. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he explained everything to me, and I was like, oh shit. I hope they talk about it now. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Even if they did talk about it, they weren't gonna they were gonna cut that out. You know what I mean? Or someone like MJ too. You know, doing this documentary. You know, he said several people asked him to do shit like this before. You know what I mean? But you know, he had, you know, 100% control of like, you know, what he wanted in or out. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that's something that he wouldn't want to touch on. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, it's an easy cop out to write it off as like, oh, a mugging, and then they killed him because they robbed him and killed him because he was like driving from I forget where he was going. He was heading to like his friend's house that was like, you know, a day or like maybe it was gonna be a day trip. So you know what I mean? They say he pulled off on the side of the road.
Yeah.
To take a quick nap in the middle of the night. And then someone in the middle of nowhere pulls up and robs him and kills him. Like, I feel like that's unlikely. I felt like he could have been killed and then they dumped him somewhere. You know what I mean? They put the car there and put him in the seat. You know what I mean? Like that's. But maybe I watch too many goddamn movies. You know what I mean?
CSI.
And even if it ain't true, my version's better. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
So the next topic I got is not one that is sports related. Something that made a big comeback, I would say, in 2020. I would call it a comeback because I remember this picture, if you will, was pretty big when I was younger. Hey, I'm not using big as a funny term here either. It's not punny. But how about that dude with the monster dong?
Oh yeah. So listen, 2020 is always one thing that I remember that I'm always gonna remember about 2020 is like for example, like, and I'm saying this because this is actual shit that happened. Like, my phone will go off. I look at it. It's a link, and I read it, and it says, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant conspiracy theory of death. A helicopter. A malfunction on purpose or something. Like, what? Click on it, and it's the motherfucker with his dick out. I'm like, shit, got me. You know what I mean? Because it'll be something mad interesting that you want. What is this? What? And you click that shit. It might be like, cure for corona. What? There's a cure? Click.
Right?
And then the motherfucker with his dick out. I'm like, shit, they got me. And then it became like,
you got me. Like, fuck. Yeah, right.
And it became like something that kind of brought like some semi-joy in 2020 because like you gotta laugh.
And then you'd be looking around like nobody saw that, right? Like,
yeah, and then you proceed to send it to everybody. You would proceed to send it to everybody that you know. Like, I'm meant to get everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and like this motherfucker went viral. Like, I remember there was even some creative ones. Like, I remember there was this one someone sent me. It was a picture of an arm, and the arm had a laceration, and there was like blood and shit. And it said, if you zoom in, it'll show you what corona does to the tissue. And then like I zoomed in, and it's that motherfucker in there, hella tiny, with his dick out. I was like, oh shit, they got me real good on that one. They're like, zoom into that shit and look at how corona deteriorates the cartilage. And it sounds all scientifical and shit, and you zoom into that motherfucker, and he's in there. He's in the little wound. He's just chilling like, that shit was good.
That shit was funny. I remember, so I'm in all these groups.
He was like the Black Rose Waldo.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all know, I mean, that was from when I was a wee type, but y'all know Where's Waldo?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
He was like the Black Where's Waldo.
Bro, I remember, like, I would, so it's so funny. I'm in all these like car salesman groups on Facebook, and people post funny as shit there, right? But like people post funny as shit on there, and people would post like a link and be like, "Hey, can someone give me a window sticker?" And if you're like certified in a certain brand, you can get a window sticker for someone. And then if you just click the link to figure out like you would think it's a link for like a specific car, and you click the link and it's just this dude chilling.
Like, I feel like I know dude.
Yeah, right.
Hey, even at one point, I just got like, if somebody texted me, it was a link, and then it was just outright him already. And I was like, that's not creative. Like, you know what I mean? But it was an article about him. And I was like, oh shit. Like, he was an actual dude. Like, and he's already dead. Like, he died years ago.
What?
Yeah. And like, so this article was about like his kids. You know what I mean? They're trying to figure out a way to get some financial gain off this somehow, because all of a sudden this motherfucker is, he's one of the pillars in 2020 all of a sudden. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, how would they make money? Would they would it be like an article, like, maybe advertising? You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, you click on it. Yeah, or maybe even something as simple as like a detergent, like Gain laundry detergent. And you click on it, you know what I'm saying? You click on it and it's the dude, you know what I'm saying? But like, he has some kind of promo code there or something. I'm like, how the fuck would they make money off this when everyone's already using it for free? You know what I mean? Like, they already missed the train on this dude's dunk to make some bread off
all
it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. I got two thoughts off of that. Number one, if it's a Gain like art or if it's like a Gain advertisement, you just instead of his dong, you put the detergent over his dong, and then it's like
with the nozzle.
30%. No, it's the 30% extra like one. And then the other thing I'm
Pause.
thinking of, if those if those like if his kids really, let's say if he is a boy, like if he has a younger kid that's a boy and he's like, we'd really like to get some financial gain. Motherfucker, you won. You know that shit's getting passed down. Come on now.
He's like, it's hereditary, son. He's like, look, son, when you grow up, son, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a massive dong like your pops. You know what I mean? Because, bro, like that guy is a legend now. He's like a legend of 2020, bro. and man, this how legendary this dude is that I even know his name, bro. His name is Barry. I don't know his last name.
You on a first name basis?
Yeah, like, bro, like this is this man's name. The man, like, to put a face or name to a John, I guess. You know what I mean? Because it's just the one picture of the dude, but it's like, bro, that shit was everywhere this year. That shit was
everywhere.
Like, you couldn't escape him.
He's always there looking around the corner.
I remember, bro, like I got myself a few times. Like there was this one time somebody sends me some shit, and it was like Santa Clara County, and that's where I live, right? It was like Santa Clara County COVID mandatory. This is when they're doing the mandatory lockdowns. They're making motherfuckers curfew and shit. And it was like click on the link, see the highlighted areas, and if you're in the area that's affected. And I'm like, oh shit. So right away, I just send it to like my family thread. I don't even click the link. I'm just sending it everywhere. And then all of a sudden, my phone's going off. And then my girl, she calls me. She's like, what the fuck? You sending it to the family thread with your mom and them? And I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, just tell them to click on it and see if the motherfucker, if they're the areas that are affected. I'm like, it's the apocalypse. Lock all the doors. She's like, dude, it's the dude, man. And I'm like, oh, shit. She's like, stupid ass. She's like, look at the text thread, and it's my mom like, what is this, Jay? Like, like they call me Jay in my family, like, Jay, what the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, my bad, mom. My niece is in the thread. She's like 18. And they're like, McKenna's in this thread. And I'm like, shit. Well, is she in the affected areas? And I'm like, tell her to click the link.
Oh my God, I'm done.
Oh shit.
Bro, I was like, that shit was crazy, bro. I'm there. Shout out to Barry, man.
Yeah, shout out Barry.
Shout out, Barry.
Really?
Oh shit. So another docu series that was huge in 2020. Tiger King. Now, Steve-O, you didn't fucking see Tiger King, which blows my mind that you didn't watch it. That blows my mind.
I binged watched it because we were gonna talk about it on a podcast, and I was like, man, this is all anybody could talk about. So I binged watched it, and maybe because I already knew so much about it when I watched it, it was kind of just like, all right, just seeing it for myself now. You know what I mean? But the shit was hilarious, man, and it is crazy how crystal meth's one hell of a drug, and like. These motherfuckers, like, just first of all, the fact that they're kicking it with tigers and shit like that, and all kind of shit, like
absurd.
Like, and then there was motherfuckers. They're like missing arms and shit, and they're like, they still working there. They're like, hey, you didn't learn.
They're out here, and they're like, no, it's really not even that big of a deal. I didn't even use my right arm ever.
You know what I mean? Like,
I still love these cats.
Motherfuckers got one hand. They're like, oh, you know what? Now I just clap like this and slap the neck. It's like, it's all good. You know what I mean? Standing ovation.
It's so funny because I just randomly, I didn't even know anything about it. I was just flipping through Netflix looking for something to watch, and I started watching it. And like it's literally everything you would think it is, right? It's hillbillies on crystal meth with guns, and add one more thing, fucking tigers. I mean,
yeah. Talk
about like that was absurd to me. It's like,
and
all right,
y'all are already LGBTQ all throughout that motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
too. Like there's gays, there's lesbians. You know what I'm saying? There's heterosexual dudes with multiple girls. Like, you know what I mean? It was like there's these different characters in that motherfucker, and they're all real life motherfuckers, bro. And like,
but it seems like a made up show. Like you're watching.
And like, that dude, the main dude, Like he's kind of like a innovator, like with his YouTube show. Remember that shit?
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, bro. Like, even though he plays for the other team, that dude's like that dude was crazy. You know what I
Nuts.
mean? Like, I didn't mind. You know, he had. You know, I'm not judging anybody by their sexual preference, but yeah, the dude was a gay man, but he was just extremely flamboyant and confident, and like he do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, bro. He's a bad motherfucker. He got gun. He got hella guns.
Turn
He got
straight
all-
guys gay for sure.
Yeah, making straight guys gay. Like he would like buy. He knew how to manipulate and like kind of buy people on whatever he felt that was the value to them. So
Guy
if,
ran
like,
for president.
Yeah.
yeah, like the dude can lobby a motherfucker. Like literally, he made a straight guy be like, you know what, maybe I'll suck a dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like
For real.
this guy was like a one hell of a salesman. Even like he could like sell you on anything, and like he was charismatic. He made music. You know what I mean? Like. And like, and he was ready to go to war. He went to war with the bitch. You know what I mean? And then the bitch, that bitch Carol Gaskin, even that bitch,
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Yeah, my bad, because that was my Miles Gaskin nickname this year. That bitch Carol Gaskin. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, but you see what I did there because it was in Florida. You know, Miles Gaskin. You know what I mean?
Got you.
See what I
I
did
got
there? But yeah, that bitch Carol Baskin, bro. She was like. She straight up fed her husband to tigers, bro. Like this motherfucker is, and she got away with it. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Put the sardine oil on that motherfucker, and bro, ate his ass up. And that's how you get rid of the evidence. You know what I'm saying?
For real though.
Gone.
Easy way to dispose of it too.
Like, and she's still out. Like, you know what I mean? And all this shit shows. You know what I'm saying? That you know she
She's on Dancing with the Stars.
She's a sociopath. I think they all were to a degree.
For sure, dude. It's literally just hillbillies with like it's like the perfect storm. Like it's hillbillies with guns and crystal meth, but then at the same time, it's like all of a sudden you add tigers into the mix, and it's like holy fuck. I mean, there's a lot going on now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
and that bitch
crazy.
Carol, the bitch Carol Baskin, bro, her tigers, it was like, you know, like she was like, man, they look the most unhealthy too. They're like the most skinniest ones.
yeah, right.
Right? And it's like, it's no wonder, like, it's like she was doing that on purpose, and then it ate her husband up real fast. You know what I mean? She wanted to get
Real
rid of him.
fast.
You know what I'm saying? And she got all his loot too.
Oh
That's
shit.
crazy.
Um,
What
yeah.
we got next, BWB?
Steve-O's computer died, so he's coming back in here.
No, I figured that.
So next on the list, I have the Ocean Spray guy. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
talk about legends. This guy just goes on TikTok. First of all, he brings back like Fleetwood Mac, in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of Fleetwood Mac. Love their
Yep.
music.
Big up. I
but,
love
like,
Fleetwood Mac.
There's a
Love
lot
that
of people.
song too. That's one of my favorite songs.
Right, right. But like, there's a lot of people that didn't even know about Fleetwood Mac, and then this guy's just skateboarding, drinking Ocean Spray. Like, it was funny actually. Bogart, when we were talking, I told you like at the dealership, it was so funny because it would we always play like the DirecTV music, and literally a couple days after, like I'm watching this guy all over everywhere. I'm sitting in my office, and all of a sudden I hear, "And here you go
Oh,
again."
again, you say you made your freedom. Yeah.
I was like,
and
"Oh,
you immediately correlated with dude now.
yeah, just skateboarding, drinking
Like,
Ocean
boom,
Spray."
skateboard cholo guy. Shout out
Dude,
to him.
they gave him a truck.
Man, hell yeah. See, you know what's crazy? Man, I'm like, yo, I don't know where you can look this up, but I almost guarantee that Fleetwood Mac song went like platinum as far as like streams again, like overnight.
Oh, probably.
Because TikTok's a motherfucker, bro. Like TikTok is designed to go viral like faster than anything, on a YouTube or you know what I mean? Like people go viral really fast on the goddamn TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
It's nuts too, like speaking of just 2020 and TikTok in general, like it's nuts how rappers develop their music toward TikTok. Like look at Drake's fucking 2C Slide. That was a song strictly meant for TikTok, and it fucking blew up, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, he like and you know what that was him doing, because he saw how that one dude, the Kiki dude, the Kiki Do you love me?
Love me.
He did
Are you
one.
riding?
And
Yeah.
then so he was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just make a fucking song about little
Yeah, those
dance
are
and shit.
both Drake, dude.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the Drake dance one came
Yeah.
after the Kiki one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Like I feel like Drake shit blows up either way just because of who he is and
Yeah, and he's half Jewish too. So like you know what I mean? Like he always got the push. Like he
yeah,
can't do any wrong.
yeah, exactly.
And he's
It's
already fire on top of that. So you know what I mean?
for real. He's got some crazy bars. He
His
in
bars are alright. I like his singing joints better because I think the bars are cool.
I
I think the
think
bars are a lot of complaining.
you heard that BB King freestyle.
Nah, I haven't. See, I haven't explored too much other music this year. I've been just doing the podcast and then kind of working on my own shit. You know what I mean? Like I haven't really. That's why, like, while I was riding in the whip today with my girl, I was like, let's listen to the radio. I want to see what's going on right now. I want to hear what's going on because, you know what I'm saying? Like, music to me was always a vibe. Like, I got to be outside. Like, I'm out in the world.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, like I haven't been doing, I have been like just going out. Like, stuff we miss about 2020 is one thing I wanted to touch on too. And one of those things like
Yeah.
going out. When you go
For
out,
real.
a song is different when you're out in the club. Like I hear some shit, I'm like, okay, I need to hear. Like, or I'll be in the club, I'll be like, what's this? You know what I mean? Like I hear some shit like, okay, like because it's where it belongs. You know what I mean? Like the radio, shit you hear on the radio that that's in circulation, it'll be in rotation for like 3 months, and I'll be like, okay, I haven't listened to the radio in like 3 months, so whatever I hear is finna sound alien to me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right.
And it's like, I love that because that's the one thing with music that it captures. And like, I think one thing that we're gonna see an influx of is a lot more substance music coming out of hip hop, because like, I mean, I know like in places like Atlanta and shit like that, it's still popping.
Oh
They didn't
yeah,
shut
for
the clubs
sure.
down, none of that. So the music still represents the culture of what it was. You know what I mean? Because but like if I'm in quarantine all day, my music's gonna represent what the mood is. You know what I mean? What like you know what I mean? Like, because when I'm going out, it's a different energy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, it's it's way different. I feel you because like I don't really fuck with country music all that heavy, but um like I remember it like if
Country
I'm
music is like posting at the crib type shit.
nah, dude, I fuck with country music outside. Like in the summer, outside
Oh,
country
word.
music, drinking like a Bud Light Lime. Oh, fire.
I see you.
That's the best way, I think.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm what's crazy is I love all genres of music. I'm not really too familiar with country shit that isn't, except for the commercialized shit. You know what I mean? But like, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I'm in an environment, you know what I'm saying, and it's popping, and that's what they're gigging to. You know what I mean? And that's where the music belongs. Like, like I almost got to hear it in its natural habitat.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's so crazy. Like there's certain music like I'll mob to. You know what I mean? Like this that you gotta ride to this shit. You know what I mean? Like this shit you play on a road trip right here, or like Ride Like the Wind, Christopher Cross. Like whenever we're on a road trip, bro, that song's gonna come on one way or another, cause there's just something about you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or I feel like in quarantine, that's one thing I did too is dive into a lot of old music bags, like classic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, I
like
feel that.
I went into a Fleetwood Mac bag. You know what I'm saying? Early on in the year, like, and then and it was kind of sparked from that dude with that Ocean Spray shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Buddy Fleetwood back, my guy. The next topic I had, which it's interesting, and we were talking about this last night when we were on the phone. So Johnny Manziel is going to be in a fan-controlled football league.
this is funny.
Now I can't remember the CEO's name or like the founder's name, but he's
Yeah, I remember you told me his
basically-
name though when you were reading it.
Yeah. Basically Johnny Manziel and Bob Menery, aka this guy's famous on TikTok too. He is the voice of Buffalo Wild Wings. basically Bob
Wow.
Menery knows the CEO or the founder of this fan controlled football league and Johnny Manziel. And Johnny Manziel is making a return to football come 2021, which is fucking hilarious, I think.
I mean, you know, when you're a first round draft pick, and people is taking pictures of you in the bathroom with a rolled up dollar because you're clearly doing cocaine. You know what I mean? You're, and then you're not a good player on the field. You know what I mean? It's gonna go south for you, and then you're gonna have to go to bounce around and go to places like the CFL, and then not work out there either, and then now you gotta resort to doing shit like this fan club shit, and it ain't about getting around talent that you could look good playing around. You know what I mean? Because for him, everything is a resume. He's probably coked out, and in his mind, he thinks I'm gonna get back to the league one day.
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I mean? So he's like, if only they can just see me. We're gonna throw this fan. Oh, how about this? We'll throw this fan league together. Yeah, and then it'll be all these subpar talent, and I'll shred them up, and I'll look good. But it's funny because the irony is I don't even think that thing will ever pan out, and no players will see the field.
Yeah, dude. Here's my thought. If Johnny Manziel really wants to still play football, I mean, does this guy even have a shot? Like, because in my opinion, he's
Not in the
way,
NFL.
yeah. I mean, definitely not in the NFL, but he's way past the point where, like, I legitimately question, like, can he even remotely?
XFL.
Well, he didn't even work out.
But he doesn't have to be a starter.
I mean, I guess.
You know what it is? It's like it's being a first round draft pick, and you have that on your resume. And even though you're a first round bust, you're not putting that on your resume. You're putting on like, hey, I'm Johnny Money Manziel, first round pick. You know what I mean?
Well, and he's gonna start because I'm
But
pretty sure the like how this league works. I
he's
think
gonna start in that league.
I think if I read it correctly too, like the fans determine who's starting. Like, so he's definitely going to start.
See, this. You know what's crazy is that this is one of those things where they're gonna let the fans obviously start. It's like you said, it's a fan choice league, right?
Yeah, I think if I read it correctly,
But it's
I
like
think
it's
that's
crazy.
how it
Like
works.
how many teams is there gonna be every week? Just two. So it's just the same team, and then you pick who starts. Because how are they gonna? Is it gonna be four teams maybe at most? You know what I mean? Like I don't see how this thing works out. Like it's too many. If something like the XFL can go down, and there was like $50 million, or
Right,
$500 million, or whatever it was, put into it, and that shit can go down. I don't know about this fan controlled shit
Dude.
with the Buffalo Wild Wings guy and Johnny Manziel. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
Like I'm
Like
serious. Like
it's such a shaky platform too. Like it's just like, hey, you know the comedian Bob Menery, so do I. Hey, you might know me. I'm Johnny Manziel. You should go ahead and get me in this league. And then it's like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna start because everyone wants to see you fail. Like, that's how I view it. Like,
yeah, I don't see this. I don't really see that thing being anything.
nah, hell no.
I think that phone call that you told me about it, that will be the one time that it ever like mattered for that second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
It was like, let's go ahead and get this out in 2020.
yeah, like
Because next year, as in like in a few hours, that shit's gonna be like never spoken of again.
dude, it's so funny too because we're literally on the phone talking about tonight, and then I was like, "Oh shit, did you see this that was released today?" And we were talking about it. Like,
Oh yeah,
it just
bro.
seems so ridiculous to me.
Yeah, man. And you know what is cool about this episode we're doing is because it was just a conversation we were having that wasn't recorded.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like, what
it's
else we
just
should
us
talk
talking
about?
shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, 2020 is never not nothing to be said about 2020. That's why. You know what I
Honestly,
mean?
and one of those things that cannot slip past this show is Odell Beckham Jr. and his little poop experiment, if you will, and the fact that he likes to get shit on
Yeah.
came out in 2020, which I don't know if it's
He
true,
clearly
but
plays for the other team.
you think so?
Yeah. I think and I'm not, shitting on anybody's sexual preference. I think he's a gay man.
No shit. You really
Yes,
think so?
because listen, gay men, you know, you would, you know, there's some, you know, there's some butt plugging going on, right? And like the infatuation with shit is, it's you know what I mean? You would imagine, right? You're doing some butt fucking, right? So like even with women, if you're with a hot chick, you're trying to fornicate with her. You're not trying to have her shit on you. I think there's some flags here. You know what I mean? I think he plays for the other team. Because anything that's a correlation with, you know, the sexual activity that happens between two gay men, you know what I mean? Feces has something to do with that. So I believe, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm gonna pretend to be one. I think that's a red flag. I think he plays for the other team. And then you match that with like his hissy fits like a bitch, like his female like tendencies. Like they literally call him a diva. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
say, yeah, you know what I mean.
He
I think he plays for the other team.
he I don't know, dude. Like it's tough for me to say like whether it's weird, right? Like I don't know.
I'm just
That
saying
was
this
true,
because of
but
the shit stuff.
yeah.
Like he likes to be shit on, dude.
Allegedly.
Listen, man. You know what's so crazy is that like then he like him tearing his ACL was almost like, okay, yes, let me go to the shadows now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he
right.
didn't like being out there, and it wouldn't be and it like he was playing bad until you know for the most part.
He
You
was.
know, yeah, he had like one big game where like he like caught a touchdown pass from Jarvis Landry. Then he also like he ran one in from like 50 yards on a jet sweep. Like he had one phenomenal game, like that you know of note for 2020. And like other than that, all people can say is he likes to get shit on. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like when you know we're living in a day and age where like this is what you're polarizing for.
Yeah.
OBJ now is the guy who likes to get shit on.
Dude, and that came out on No Jumper, right? I think that's where it came out on was No Jumper. Is because I forgot who it was that said he likes to get shit on, but
It was
she
abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because No Jumper brings on all the, yeah. Shout out to Adam 22.
Yeah, right. Appreciate it.
That dude's dope. He's my age bracket too, so like I appreciate him because he grew up on BMXing and shit like you know that shit that was like you know part of my childhood and shit like it was like oh dope like you know I wasn't a BMX rider, I was a skater, but you know as far as like you know like the X Games culture was like really ingrained into like my generation, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I grew up on like skateboarding was big when I was younger.
Yeah, I skated. I was a skater.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Kick
I
flipping.
was pretty good. I could kick flip if I landed it. It was on a good day, but like I could ollie with the best of them. So like I could ride. You know what I mean? I'm just everywhere, and then I could drop into inverts. You know what I mean? I could so I could just we literally had a Vans skate park at this
Oh,
mall.
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it was really dope. You had to sign waivers, all this shit, and like we would just go there and skate, bro. Like it was dope, and then like. Yeah, it was dope until like so many people were getting hurt, and then at one point they were like, "All right, we're closing this place down."
Yeah, of course. Motherfuckers
Yeah.
be suing and shit.
Yeah, and then it was like they had an arcade there, so it was like it was an attraction. It was just motherfuckers was fighting there, and you know what I mean. It was just one of those things. Ain't nobody was going there to buy shoes and shit. Just have a
Yeah,
Vans
right.
store. You know what I mean? They had a Vans store, but hey, by the way, we also had a skate park, and it was only like $20 to ride for like 2 hours. So it was like, you know what I mean? Like that shit wasn't nothing. We go there like I was a freshman in high school. Like I skated my whole life until I was a freshman. And like I was already smoking weed skating, but like then I was just like, all right, I'm selling weed now. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm selling weed. I don't want to fuck my shoes up. It started becoming different things. I don't want to drop in this ramp and risk breaking my arm anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Oh fuck. Now I'm gonna save one topic for last. It's supposed to be next up on the list, but I'm gonna swap it. The next thing
how much time we got left till it's countdown over there?
20 minutes exactly. Now the next topic I had was let's talk about the social injustice. And I know you and I had discussed this on one of my shows.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, we can't talk about 2020 without discussing that
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab a beer. Keep talking now. I can hear you.
because obviously, social injustice was a huge issue within 2020. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, things like that. NFL bringing in, putting names on the back of helmets, putting things in the end zone. It's one of those things that is once again kind of reverting back to like the Kobe Bryant thing, right? It's one of those things where it's like it's much bigger than the sport. And I'm glad the NFL actually did something about it. It's to me, it says a lot, especially because the NFL is riddled with fucking issues all the time, in my opinion. But
You mean with racist?
yeah,
I'll
100%. Yeah, 100%. So it's one of those things that needs to be brought up. It was a huge part of 2020, man.
So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. It was brought to the attention of people that maybe were, I don't want to say not aware of these issues, but it was brought to their, into their houses on, on all their devices and in all their tweets and in all their, mentions, and then people that were living in their bubble outside of, I'm talking to, non-minorities, I'll say most of those whites, the racist whites, the racist whites, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the people that maybe aren't racist, but also like, the people that just, they weren't affected by these issues. So they never really, they kind of turned a blind eye. You know what I mean? Like, cause this is something that's been going on for a long time. You know what I mean? And like, to get put on like that, and like things like this to go viral, obviously, like, within minutes, you know what I mean? And like, the outrage, you know what I mean, was to epic proportion, you know what I mean? And shit really went down, you know what I mean? And then you had people peacefully rioting, and then at the same time you had people trying to, use the situations and being, pigeonholed and, disenfranchised. And they're like, you know what? We robbing everything. And then like, then it started the riots, and, then there was people that were like trying to get in on shit that weren't even disenfranchised. Like, you know what? Hey, let's excite the riots, or hey, let's go out there and steal shit too. Or like, let's go out here. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, and then like, then you had police, you know what I mean? Like, they're trying to stop the rallies, and, because of all the riots and stuff, they're just kind of like viewing these peaceful rallies as full of people that are causing riots, and then they're shooting rubber bullets at them and tear gas. And you know what I mean? Like, it was literally like, when you looked on social media, it was like, it was anarchy, bro. It was the apocalypse. It was the rapture, bro. It was crazy. And then it went away. For the most part, it went away because it got ugly, and it got ugly fast.
Mm-hmm.
The issues didn't go away, but I'm talking about as far as the rioting and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff went to a halt, but
I don't remember.
The issues still remain, and you know what I mean. I still think it's going to be far from change. That, at least it's more so in the forefront, because, like, that's why you ever heard of Emmett Till? Emmett Till, he was a young black man. This was, I don't know how many odd years ago this was, maybe like 60 or 70 years ago. I mean, I'm probably wrong. Someone could fact check me. But Emmett Till, he was a young black man, and he had like said something to a young white lady, and she had told everyone that he raped her, and then she got him beaten to death, and then they threw his body in a river, and they didn't find him till like a day later or days later, and he was so swollen from the water. And then like, then there was a funeral, and the mom, Emmett Till's mom, she wanted, she opened the casket up. It's like, I want the world to see what they did to my baby. You know what I mean? And then, someone took a picture of it, and it was on the cover of magazines, and that was the first time shit was like in the forefront. And I think, in my opinion, like, this George Floyd shit was something of that nature, of that magnitude. But here was a man Now this is digital. This is video. Now we're living in that era where you see this shit, and the motherfuckers,
Hmm.
you know, he's begging for his life, and this dude is just killing him. You know what I mean? Like that was. I only watched it once because I could never watch it again, and I don't never usually watch those things because it's just I don't want things like that ingrained in my memory. Maybe that's
Sure.
a part of
Yeah.
like compartmentalizing it. That's why I got off Facebook years ago. Because before it'd be like Facebook, you reading all this, you know, you might be scrolling through and it's like, you know, I might see like a dude get his brains blown out, or like, you know what I mean, or like
Yeah.
you
Right.
read about a little girl that got raped, or you know what I mean. It was just all this mind pollution shit. But like, yo, that one, you know, and because you don't know where it's gonna go. I remember seeing it the day it happened. I'm watching the video. You know what I mean? And I'm just because it was someone on Instagram, and I'm watching it, and it's you know it's just a 7 or 8 minute long ordeal. You know what I mean? And like I'm like, yo, are they gonna kill him? Are they really gonna? Oh shit! You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh shit, they killed him. Like you know what I mean? Like wow, like because it takes a long time. There's a lot, 8 minutes or whatever, how long it was. That's a long time to really evaluate if you're gonna take this person's life or not. Normally, taking someone's life, I would imagine in hostile situations, there is no thinking about it. You know what I mean? There's no time to like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
this was methodical, like in that sense. This was
Hmm.
kind of sadistic. You know what I mean? You have a
It's
guy
fucked up.
begging for his life, and you still like, you know, but you already have him apprehended. He's already like not a threat. You know what I mean? Like it was just, you know, it was and then that guy, you know, he got away with it, right? Or what happened with dude? Because you know what's kind of crazy is like I feel like he would be the most protected person ever.
Right. Yeah.
Like they would
Exactly.
hide him
I
away somewhere. Like
I don't remember what ended up. I think isn't the George Floyd trial like in 2021?
oh, okay, okay, so he's gonna be tucked off away in like in what do they call it? Protective custody. He's gonna be PC'd up
Yeah.
because he's a
Um,
cop.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually.
Yeah, but you know, listen, somebody's gonna try to kill that man. I'll say that much. It's a safe
Hmm.
bet. If there was like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
if there was somewhere, if there was like, if there was like a 2020 bookie, right? Because I feel like in 2020 you could find all the craziest shit ever. There's got to be a bookie out there that will take bets. Like, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. He ain't gonna see the trial. Yeah, yeah, I got that. You want to put 50 on that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
You know what? Let's make it 75 that someone's gonna kill him. Okay, yeah, yeah, that pays 2.5. Okay, yeah, we're good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
Right.
feel like
Shit.
someone's gonna kill that man because it's just how the universe works, bro. You know what I mean? Like, people need to believe that, especially to everybody. Like, if you want to believe on something, you know, if you don't think you're racist and you're racist, or even just prejudice in any kind of manner, just believe in karma. You don't even need to fuck, you know, fuck racist people for real. But just anybody that don't believe in karma, like, no, it's real, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is you get one life, as far as we know. You know what I mean? As far as they tell us, right? And I'm going with that. You know what I mean? I've traveled the universe. I'm trying to find answers. What I think I'll tell you is that man, the universe balances things, bro. You know what I mean?
For real. For real.
You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, it's just, and you know, I just hope, you know, people that are killed unjustly don't die in vain. That, you know what I mean? Like the shit that has happened to them, and you can see, you know what I mean? Other people open their eyes to it, like be like, oh wow, this is what's been going on. Like, you know, we're ignorant. They say ignorance is bliss. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then you know, but when
Right.
people are ignorant is not a good thing though. You know what I'm saying? And naive is not an excuse either.
No, not at all. Fuck.
Yeah, because people know now. No one can use that excuse. Like, you know, that's why it was so funny to me when people be like, I don't know why people hated on me. I love everyone. I posted all lives matters because you're saying that black lives don't matter, you
Yeah.
stupid fuck.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? You say all lives matter. You ain't never had no fucking worries about going outside. You
Yeah. You're
stupid
not
fuck.
addressing the issue at all.
Yeah, you dumbass. And they think, and they, you know why? 'Cause they're ignorant. Or they'd be like, or they could actually be naive, innocently not knowing. But listen, there ain't no more of that neither. You know what I mean? Like there is no more turning a blind eye. Like you know what I mean? And like, hey, if I didn't know you, me and you could be in a line, like at a like a restaurant. We're waiting to order, and this line is gonna be 45 minutes. You know what I mean? At one point or another, you know what I mean? Say like you know I check the score on the game or something, and I'm like, fuck, you know, my Niners. And you might be like, oh, you're a Niner fan? Yeah, I'm a Niner fan. And then boom, we start talking. Then by the time there's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we get to the front of the line. All right, man, it's good talking to you, right? You might have looked like someone that I might not have spoken to, or maybe, you know what I mean? I'm just going about my business. But the moment someone opens dialogue, then you realize, okay, you might have more in common with people that you don't know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like people don't want to open any dialogues, like, and you know what I'm saying? And like, hey, I'm not gonna say I don't blame people anymore. I'm gonna say, listen, it is everyone's fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what I mean? If you say you have a problem with it, then you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? Talk to someone and see, and then maybe get to know somebody. You know what I mean? Get to see what their
Exactly.
plight is.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Now, the last topic, and this will carry us into what is the new year.
Yeah.
In
Going into next year.
in Central Standard Time anyway, which is what I'm streaming on. This will carry us into the new year, and then we're gonna end the show with a topic that is a 2021 outlook, sports related. But you actually sent me this today, and I think it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
So the COVID-19 bill started a 180-day countdown for UFO disclosures. So the Pentagon essentially has to release what information they have on UFOs within 180 days.
This is crazy, right? Like, because okay, no, go continue.
Like here's my thing. If you got to disclose what you know about UFOs, like, dude, 2021, because it's gonna come out like right at the tail end. You know it is. 2021 is gonna be knucking futs if they're just talking about UFOs like halfway through or a quarter of the way through 2021, and there's like, hey, by the way, there's some UFOs out there. Like,
Yeah. Like all that shit we were saying, yeah, we knew about it. Like I feel like, okay, here's see, I want to go more. Like I want to think bigger on this. I almost want to light a joint. Hold on. Think a little bigger on this. See, like, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, if it comes when you're talking about some shit like UFOs and shit like that in a COVID-19 bill, it said, right?
yeah. It was. I think it was a stimulus bill, wasn't it? Like it was slipped into the stimulus bill that was signed. Like, oh, and
Yeah.
on
Okay.
top of
So,
giving money, you got to talk about UFOs, by the way. Like,
because like, I mean, bro, like, what is this COVID shit so bad that like now, you know what I mean? The aliens gotta come in. Like, what's going on here? Like, okay, you know, there's some people who theorize. Is that a word? We're going with it.
yeah. That's a
Like
word.
some people that theorize that because like at one point in time, the human brain had like all of a sudden doubled in size within like a certain period of time. So now we went from this type of humanoid to this, you know what I mean? And like, there's people that theorize that, hey, maybe during that time there was some motherfucking, maybe there was some divine intervention, quote unquote, some aliens that came down, maybe experimented, maybe kicked it into gear, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like if there is some ancient, fucking tens of 1,000-year-old type of sentient beings, right?
Ancient aliens.
Ancient
On
aliens, right?
fucking,
Maybe they
the
came through it,
history
right?
channel. Is fucking
Exactly.
nuts.
That shit was awesome. Shout out to Eric Von Donigan. You know what I mean? He actually wrote the Chariot of the Gods. You know what I mean? And then he was the one that, kind of launched that show. But yeah, it was the theory of like, hey, I'm a regular motherfucker, and then this shit came out of the sky. It was God, bruh. You know what I mean? It came on a chariot of the gods. Like, hey, but you know what? Maybe they're explaining. They were describing a UFO coming down, and then telling them some shit. You know what I mean? Giving them some intervention, some divine intervention. Here's some information that's gonna help you out, cause y'all is slow. We're gonna speed y'all up. You know what I mean? If you think about the world, right? The world's only like 3 billion years old, 6 billion years old, whatever it is. The Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have, 100,000 years of proof of like human existence. So I'll make this longer because we're getting to New Year soon. But we have like 100,000 years of like proof of human existence. But only in the past, like, 10,000 years, we have proof of like us being like super intelligent and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, when do we take some step? Maybe there was some fucking type of intervention, an ancient alien or whatever. Someone gave us, some kind of knowledge. You know what I mean? Something along the lines, right? And like, when you look at the way humans react to shit, like look at how we reacted to the COVID pandemic, and then then you couple the pandemic with some major social injustice events, and then now the world is going crazy. You know what I mean? Imagine how they would react if they told us the aliens existed. Like, they have to ease this in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's why I feel like they're like, and I feel we're not going to get much anyway. When
Probably
in
not.
180 days, they're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, there are some joints. Them UFOs, shit's crazy. We can't, we kind of got some technology from it. There were some crashes. These things, you can't carbon date them. Who knows how old they are?
Yeah, right.
We've even excavated some. Because there's stories about them excavating these motherfuckers. And you know what I'm saying? It was like in the depths of the earth. So that means that motherfucker crashed fucking maybe hundreds of thousands of years ago, for all we know. You know what I mean? You don't fucking know. That's all they're going to say. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. Just some bright lights and shit.
They're just going to give us a little bit, though. Because they know it. There's some. Like, did you get that NBC joint I sent you?
Which one?
So I sent you a joint. I hope I sent it to you. Oh yeah, I did. I sent it to you on accident. I was ready to send it to my boy.
The Terrence McKenna.
That one, but there was another one. I'm not sure if I sent it to you on accident or not, but it was an NBC clip where they're talking about how there's this Israeli general, right? He's 86 years old. And this motherfucker came out and he was like, "There's a galactic federation." You know what I mean? We've been working with aliens. The U.S. government and the Israeli government, and I'm one of those dudes. I do a lot of psychedelics, and I've went down several rabbit holes. I enjoy doing shit like this, right? And like, bro, like the Hebrews in all literature, they all claim to have came from like the future and have knowledge and this and that, because out of all the superpowers, why would it just be Israeli? You know what I mean? Right? That was claiming to have contact with aliens. And Israeli and USA, but also because USA, Jewish people, they run a lot of shit in the USA, you know what I mean? So it makes sense that these are the two superpowers, or at least the one superpower and then the other. Because I guess, we can't say Israelis a superpower? They got pull, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They got stupid pull. And bro, you know what I mean? There's some bad motherfuckers. But anyways, yeah, so with all that said, and they talking about, this is in the NBC, bro. Like, this was on, television. It was like an NBC in this shit. The bitch is talking about, this Israeli general is claiming that, and President Trump had to be briefed on it. And, they want to make things known. But, they're afraid that humankind has still yet to understand space and time and this and that, and et cetera. Spaceships and it's crazy. They're about to let us know some shit. You know what I mean? It's clear that we've had these UFOs in our possession for a while.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even going all the way back to Hitler, that was part of his mission, was to find the underground city of Agartha, like where, or in the Bible, commonly referred to as like the Garden of Eden. Like he said, this was a real place, and like there was this super race, you know what I mean? This super race of this Aryan race, you know what I mean? Where motherfuckers had these giant heads and blonde hair and flaming blue eyes, and they rode in these fucking spaceships and you know what I mean? Like this was fucking Hitler's mission. Like you know the band the Foo Fighters? You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
So the Foo Fighters, they got their name because there was in the World War II there was this American fleet. They were chasing down this German fleet. This like some fucking sky action shit. They shooting, and they with the machine guns in the sky. The planes and shit, dogfights, and then all of a sudden these orbs of fucking fireballs is how they were described. Fucking UFOs and shit just appeared out of nowhere, and it started fucking up all the transmissions, and and essentially the Foo Fighters, which was the American fleet, they ended up winning the fight, but they were like, yo, this other shit came out of nowhere because it was and then now in hindsight, because it was said that Hitler he had UFO technology, he had like this ancient shit, you know what I'm saying, and like. Roswell happened. And you know what's crazy too is like, if you think about this, if you think we're an experiment, if you want to go with the theorize that we're like an experiment by aliens and shit, you know what I mean? When we dropped the atom bomb, you know what I mean? That was what, 60s or something, 50s, whatever it is. Either way, that's when after that event, there was all the stories of Roswell, the UFO crashes and then UFO sightings everywhere. That shit started ramping up because what if you're some aliens and you're like, yo, those monkeys we were experimenting on? Yo, they learned how to split the atom and they're about to destroy their shit. You know what I mean? Because they're fucking dropping bombs now. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden they made their presence felt. Because wouldn't you like maybe humankind? There's some galactic level of status that they need us to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're in the infant stage still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We haven't even learned anti-gravity and shit like that. You know what I mean? And all those UFOs that you see in the government footage that they released, those are all flying objects that fucking defy laws of gravity and shit like that. You know what I mean? So there is other means of technology, and and then in the NBC shit, to make even shit crazier, they're talking about this general was saying there's underground facilities on Mars where we have USA representatives there working with aliens already. Like this is crazy talk. If you think about it,
that's
if you
fucking
take it
nutty.
If you just hear it for what it is, it's crazy, right? But and then this guy's 86 years old. He's a high-ranking general in the Israeli fucking intelligence, right? And you would think like, okay, well he's 86. You could easily discredit him. He's old. He's senile. Right? Maybe he's he knows his time is coming, or maybe that's his role. Like before he's gone, like all right, listen, you're an old fuck. They could think you're senile, but you're gonna go out and put out the information because this is us planting little bits and pieces. As we, so we can prepare the masses. You can't just hit them off like, hey, yo, they exist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They out here. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, E.T. Hey, pull up E.T. E.T. pulls, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that shit without mass hysteria.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And honestly, I don't think they're going to tell us much anyway.
Probably not, no.
But it is kind of funny. They just kind of sneak in. It would take something crazy as COVID to be like, come on, motherfuckers been looking for aliens forever, bro. Motherfuckers has been looking for aliens forever, and then now COVID, they're like, hey, by the way, we're gonna pass the stimulus joint, and there might be some aliens out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we'll let y'all know about the aliens real quick. That being said, hey, I'm over here in Central Time.
How much time you got left?
I'm already there. It's 12:05.
Wow! Happy New Year, bro! I thought we were gonna do a countdown.
Hey, I'm in the future.
You are, bro. Tell me how it is, bro. Is everything good?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Shit. I'll
It's
see
your
you in 2
dragon.
hours.
Yeah, 2021's crazy as
Hey,
fuck.
you're literally talking to me, and I'm in the past. I'm in 2020, bro. Hey, bro, go look at the lottery numbers or something. Find me something. Find me something I can use right now. While you're there, and I'm here. Oh shit! Well, let's take
Figure
a
some shit
shot.
out. Oh fuck! I'm gonna take another one. I'll take another one with you. Oh shit!
Happy New Year, brother.
Hey, happy New Year, Bogart.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking 2021, bud.
Right? It's some shit, bro.
Woo-wee. Woo!
All right, so let's foreshadow some 2021,
So
and then we'll cut this thing off.
my
Hold on, hold on.
2021.
No, hold on. Go ahead.
My 2021 topic is this. We're going to talk about NFL playoffs because why not? Really? We're just a big sports network here. Us working with Robbie, aka the Admiral. Shout out Robbie over at Rum Boys.
Yeah, big up the Admiral.
Exactly.
Let's go.
So that's why that's actually how me and Bogart met, right? We're with Robbie, part of Rum Boys, and
Hold on, I'm gonna text the Peacock. Text Miles Peacock, Happy New Year, brother. It only gets better.
Ready to send it?
hell yeah.
Bam. Yeah, it's crazy because I'm motherfucking yeah, we all over the map. No, continue.
All over, dude. It's kind of nuts.
Hey, hold on one second. She telling me to change the diaper real quick. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while Bogart changes the diaper because he's got dad shit to do. So we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs and the whole situation, right? So everything going on with the NFL playoffs. So for starters, I'm going to start off like this. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. For those of you that don't know, that don't regularly listen to the show, any newcomers, appreciate you tuning in and go ahead and shoot us a follow on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is. All this is going to be live tomorrow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all podcast platforms. I'm going to pull the audio. But so we're going to talk about NFL playoffs. And here's my thought. As a Steelers fan, I can't lie. I'm worried. I'm real worried. Because when it comes down to it, the Steelers haven't looked that great. Right? They started off hot, not losing anything. Like, let's take the Tennessee Titan game for an example. We're a field goal away from OT. Gostkowski, thank goodness, he's a fucking bum, misses a field goal. But when you look at it, I get real fucking worried about the playoffs. I don't think our offense can produce. I mean, you look at us. We lost to – so the Steelers lost to the Bengals, for instance. That's a game we should never fucking lose, ever. But we lose to the Bengals, and our defense doesn't look that great in that game. And it's just like, can we keep up with it, right? Can we be a team that can hold people down and win games? Whole lot of question marks there. Now, Bears are an interesting team as well, right? They control their own destiny. Here's my thing too, because I don't know if Bogart's going to touch on it. I'm going to touch on it real quick. I think it's ridiculous the Jets lost a game. If you're a Jets fan, I'd be pissed out there. Like, you have an opportunity to get Trevor Lawrence, a guy that can legitimately probably lead your team. He's NFL ready right away. And you win. your second game of the year for some reason, for some unknown reason, right? Like, so there's some question marks there. The NFL playoffs are weird, and there's some interesting storylines that are gonna play out. Really, it's a matter of who is really going to be ready to show up, right? Like, for instance, you got a team like the New England Patriots. They're not even going to be in the playoffs. First time in, 20 years or something like that they're not in the playoffs. But then all of a sudden, the Buccaneers are in the playoffs. Like there's some weird storylines that are coming out, and it's interesting to take a look at. That being said, I'm going to cut it off real quick because I got to go do one thing. So I'm going to be back in like 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. All right, I'm back. So, so obviously, right, you're taking a look at like the Chiefs. Chiefs obviously have number 1 seed right now. They're going to be playing the Bills. Chiefs are 14-1. Bills are 12-3. Now, that's an interesting game to me because I legitimately think the Bills have a chance. Now, obviously the big variable is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you move on, obviously Steelers got the 3 seed with the Titans, the Dolphins, Ravens, Browns, in the hunt with the Colts on the bubble. So,
oh shit! So the Colts are outside of the bubble right now.
Right now they are. As of right now, they are.
So the Titans would be a 7.
Yes.
Wow. So Titans need to
No,
win.
no. The Browns are a 7.
Okay, yeah, Browns need to. Oh shit! So
Because the Browns are favored to beat the Steelers with Mason Rudolph playing.
yeah, wow. You know what too is like they're probably gonna rest as many of their starters on defense too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like historically they're not afraid of the Browns. So they're like, you know what, we can let them in.
Exactly, right?
Because
But
that's really dangerous though. Like I feel like the Bills, I don't think they're playing too many of their starters, are they?
probably not. I mean, they got the 2 seed. Why would you?
Right? And you already got the division, but they're playing against Miami, and that's a division rival you don't want in.
I mean, and Miami
is
right
tricky.
there.
That's like letting Belichick in them in because he's a product of Belichick, and he was actually he's actually the last time Belichick and them won the Super Bowl. It was Brian Flores over there.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Flores, what did he do? He built himself a little defense the same way they were. Their defense is predicated on being dope from the top to the bottom. From the back to the front. So their secondary is shut down. While that means they get a bunch of coverage sacks because of that. You know what I mean? Like that's how New England was.
Oh yeah, for sure. New England, dude, and I actually I talked about it while you were gone. I can't believe New England like is just not in the playoffs. It's weird to say, but
It really is. But you know what though? Listen, I'm still here. It's 2020, man. That's a 2020 thing, man. You know what I mean? I'm still back here in 2020 now. You know what I mean?
oh shit. It's interesting too because I touched on too while you were gone like the Bears. That's a team that controls their destiny.
Yeah, when they're in. Also, if is it if Arizona loses too? Oh no, if Arizona wins, it would be Arizona and the Bears as the 6 and 7.
Yeah, I believe so. The NFC's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, because but if the Rams win and the Bears lose, then it's the Rams and the Cardinals in.
There's a lot of shit going on.
There's a lot of yeah.
But then the Buccaneers all of a sudden are in the playoffs now this year, which is fucking
Well, cause they already locked it up.
Yeah.
Their math locked it up. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Which
So they're not gonna play Brady or nobody.
nah, hell nah.
Fuck no.
They ain't playing no one. It's I don't know, man. The NFL playoffs is gonna be wild.
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you this much. The motherfucking this week 17, bro, like we're kicking off 2021. There's gonna be a lot of quality football this weekend. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Quality as in like it matters. Maybe not quality as in product of play on the field, but there's gonna be a lot of people going out there to die this week
Oh yeah, for sure.
because this 7 seed shook everything up. Like it was as advertised. We knew they were gonna add an additional seed, and we knew it was gonna shake the game up. You know what I mean? Look at the 6th and 7th seeds on both sides aren't decided yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On both conferences.
And it's all gonna fucking come down to this week.
Who do we got? Let's go through it.
So
Like who do we got? Like you personally, like who do you got the Browns beating your Steelers?
I don't know, dude. Like it's weird. I really hope they don't, but at the same time, like with Mason Rudolph starting, I don't trust Mason Rudolph at all.
Would you rather have the Browns in or the Titans or the Colts? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you're looking at it from a viewpoint of being a Steelers fan.
I'd rather have the Browns in.
Exactly. See, I knew you were going there. Me, on the other hand, I think that's more dangerous because this is not the Browns that you guys historically are used to. This is Kevin Stefanski. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends because we played the Browns early on in the year and we kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, like, but you had the full strength of everybody.
Exactly. Like
On defense, on offense, yeah.
It all depends on whatever Browns I see in week 7.
And I'll tell you this much: the way the Browns defense is built, you know, your offense can't run the ball. They can stop. Browns defense is good at stopping the run. You guys can't run though.
Yeah.
The Browns secondary gives up booty. That's where you guys. That's your guys' plan of attack on offense is throw the ball. So, I would want the Browns like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. One thing that does interest me is the Dolphins-Bills game.
Because if the Dolphins win, they're in, right? Are they in control of their shit, or they need help too?
So the Dolphins right now are in the 5 seed.
Oh shit! But they could fall all the way out if they lose.
Correct. Because the Ravens play the Bengals, and the Ravens and Dolphins are 10 and 5.
So that's where the Ravens can get in. And you know
Yes.
what's crazy, bro, is they ruled. Remember, we were talking about this last night. They ruled out Fitzmagic because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is one of those COVID joints where like he went out for family shit, and they were like, "Oh, you were exposed." even though people didn't have COVID. Remember we were talking about this earlier on the show.
Yeah.
Like they have these weird like protocols now. They just keep adding new shit. Like okay, no, like you know, injured guys now. Like when you're injured, bro, and you're not like, and now you're injured, then you can't even be around team like doctors and shit like that necessarily because now you're like, all right, you're injured, but now you're over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're over here now. So they just label motherfuckers COVID. You know, I've been seeing that in this past month. A motherfucker is questionable, then he gets ruled out, not because of an injury, but because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like I think Keenan Allen's ruled out this week because of COVID.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was dealing with the fucking hamstring last couple weeks. So now they're like, or you been over here, COVID. You know what I mean? Just
Exactly.
boom, you got COVID now. And not that they got COVID, but it's the protocol, or you're exposed because you haven't been with the team enough for us to monitor you because of this injury. You're over here. You're out. You know what I mean? They've been doing this shit. Like,
It's fucking whack, dude. Like I understand the precautions, but at the same time, like if
like David Johnson, he had the concussion. He was on IR, and then you know what I'm saying, and then he comes back, and then Duke Johnson, he gets hurt, and then they're like, all right, oh yeah, you're hurt, you missed practice. You got COVID too now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they were just, bro. Like there's a ton more examples I'm trying to think of, but I'm like, I can't think of any more. They'll hit me, but a lot of them, bro. Like this just became a thing this past month.
It happens, dude. It happens way too much. But like at the same time, like I said, I understand the precaution, but at the same time, it's like if a guy's hurt, like I mean, he's got to go to like physical therapy or whatever. So like, I mean, don't punish the guy because he's doing what he should.
Yeah, but you go to a physical therapist, unless it's the team guy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you might have a physical therapist that takes care of a team in its entirety, right? Like when you have trainers, you're training a lot of these motherfuckers, right? Like how that one trainer was giving the supplements to all the motherfuckers and the Will Fuller and all them. They all got got.
That was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So you might have a physical therapist, but he's on the team. He's traveling with the team. You're hurt. You're already ruled out because of this injury. You're not traveling with the team. Now they come back. You can't go back with the team because who knows what you've been doing. You know what? COVID.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Oh, you didn't if you didn't travel with the team, boom, they're just gonna boom COVID. And you know why teams are doing this, right? It's because COVID brought the NFL the short-term IR. So now I could put you on. You got a hamstring. I could put you on IR for 3 weeks till you're good, because hamstring could be like a 4-week injury. But I'm gonna put you on a short-term IR. That way I don't gotta pay you. And I can activate someone from the practice squad now because I can only have, 52, 53 man rosters?
53.
Whatever it is, right? So now this is playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. So we're just giving everybody COVID so we, you know what I mean, if they're hurt. Like, for example, Keenan Allen. You know what I mean? A couple weeks ago, he got the hamstring. They probably should have just put him on IR right then and there. They probably just should have done that.
Agreed.
Right? But,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Or DeAndre Hopkins in the beginning of the year. Like, you know why I say this? It's because my Niners, we had so many injuries that, like, you know what? Put him on a short-term IR. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? Kittle, you put him on the long-term IR. Like, they give, like, because long-term now was 6 weeks. Before it used to be 8 weeks minimum.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So now you're giving... It's not against the rules, so we're gonna play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Okay, now I could look at Ryan Fitzmagic. He's not in practice, undisclosed reasons, right? Like, or not, whatever they call. Is that a word? We're going with it. Undisclosed.
Yeah.
Right? Boom, we find out he's on COVID. He got COVID now, or he's in the COVID protocol or whatever the fuck they labeled it, because they got in that meantime, they were like, all right, we need to see if, you know what I mean, we need to rule him out, because we can't have Tua, a hot name, rookie, on a team who's not the biggest market, but one of the most beloved, you know, from the state of Florida, the Dolphins. You can't not have this motherfucker in here because if Fitzmagic got it, then almost, you know what? We're going to roll all the QBs out. No, they're like,
Exactly.
because they did that to the Broncos and they see
Yeah.
how of a trash game it was. And the Broncos weren't even relevant at the time when it happened, but let alone a team like this that is relevant
Is
with
relevant,
a storyline against the Bills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they might like what if the Magic Man actually has COVID and he was exposed to Tua and then they're like all right, listen, we did everything we could and you know what I'm saying Tua's not he's not positive. Fuck it, but what if he's asymptomatic? They're like, we're gonna get him in here. And then what if he affects the Bills guys? You know what I mean? The Bills defense guys. Cause then Tua's giving it to the receivers, giving it to the running backs, everyone's tackling them. And all of a sudden next week, then the Bills wild card game is trash. Because now their whole defense is gone. Like this is like insane.
Dude,
The things they're willing to do, they're like, you know what? We'll deal with it next week. That's how they've been handling shit.
that
Let's just
Broncos
deal with
game
it
was
next week.
fucking nuts.
It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
And it gave, you know what's fucked up for the Saints? It gave them an extra win with Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Where you're like, well, is he good or not? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Because then the next game, they got their ass kicked by the fucking, was it the next game?
Yeah.
Or was it the game after when they got their ass kicked by the Eagles? Either way, they got their ass kicked by the Eagles, and it was like, oh shit. Let's bring Drew Brees back with all his broken ribs. You know what I mean? Like, bring him back now. You know what I mean? Because really, it's not, the level of competition is directly correlated with the talent. Like, we could watch a bad Drew Brees game on TV. We will tune in for that. There's the casual fan won't be like, let's go watch the Taysom Hill led Saints.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're
exactly.
tied into it by fantasy.
Right.
Because in fantasy, you're watching everything. I don't give a fuck. Where's my guys at? Let's watch my roster. They're on my team. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's not gonna bring ratings. You know, Taysom Hill. If you're not a Saints fan, if you're a Saints fan, you're tuning in regardless. You know what I mean? It's just so funny the things this year. You know what I mean? Like in 2020.
Fucking 2020. Hey, I'm in
You're in
2021.
2021.
I don't know where you're at, but
Bro, I'm out here and I'm still in hell, bro. Is it all right over there? Look outside. Smell the air. Smell the air. Does it smell?
Yeah.
You smell the hoe?
it's
Is it
it's
cool?
nice. It's nice back there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's a different vibe here in 2021.
All right. You know what? This is crazy. This is like a paradox right now, in time right here. Right now, like I am, and there's a digital. It's a digital interface. You know what I'm saying? Me and you are chilling right now through the algorithms of this digital space, right? We're kicking it. And I'm in the past and you're in the future. And I am Bogarty McFly. You know what I'm saying? You're blitzed. You're Doc Blitzed. That's who you are. I'm Bogarty McFly and you're Doc Blitzed. You know what I'm saying? And when this thing hits 88, you're going to see some crazy shit. Or you're going to see some shit. Or whatever he says. I probably butchered the line. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh fuck. All right. Well, I say we do one more of these guys,
Yeah.
and we let Bogard enjoy his New Year's Eve with his family.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is when I went to go change my son's, right, he took a big ass dump. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it makes me proud, bro. Like I'm changing his shit diaper and he's kicking and he knows that he's laughing. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I'm trying to hold him and wipe his ass, bro. And like, it's funny because, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of symbolic, you know what I mean? Like he's taking the shit and I'm changing my you know, my son, he's about to turn 2 years old in in the next like 2 weeks actually. You know what I mean? But it's kind of symbolic because you know what I mean. It was a shit year, but for someone who's a child's innocence, and you know what I'm saying, which was symbolizes like hope and just like, you know what I mean, things that could be achieved. You know, it was a kind of metaphoric, like he could shit, and then you could just clean the shit up. You know what I mean, and everything's good. It's like in that symbolism in itself, like yeah, you can just clean the shit up, and everything's good. You know what I mean, like us as humans are, and I'm still in 2020, so I'm still in hell.
Yeah,
I
you're,
mean,
you're
you're
in
in
the
2021.
past.
You're in
You're in
hope.
the past.
Yeah, you're in hope. So from for me looking towards the future where you're at, I'm hoping that we can just clean this shit up, bro.
Yeah, 2021's cracking. There's a lot of shit different already. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know what?
There's flying cars and shit here already.
What? Put that on. You selling them already?
Yeah, it's
You got-
crazy. It's
We
wild.
got a few on the lot. Yeah. Hey, okay. Let me ask you something. How is it when you're like when you're test driving shit? You put to make motherfucker like you want to test drive it? Put these gloves on, motherfucker.
Nah. So
You're not
what
doing
we
none of that because then that could discourage the cell too.
so what we
Like,
do is
what,
we
you think I'm dirty, Blake. I can't grab this wheel and drive. Here's this anti-germ shit, but we had filled it with this alcohol rub. So, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a little water, but I'm gonna spray your hands down right now. You ready? Put your hands out. You know what I mean? Like, and go ahead and let's go test drive this Audi. You know what I mean?
so what we do is we we don't go on test drives right now.
Really? So it's all on. It's all on in the Bay Area. We call it mouthpiece. Like you know what I'm saying? Just gamed up. Like it's you know
Yeah.
the fast talking. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's selling them on the mouthpiece. The word alone. You know what I mean? Like listen,
Sell
bro,
the
this-
sizzle, not the steak, my guy.
Yes, there it is. Like listen, bro. This whip
Yeah.
right here, bro. You don't even have to drive it to know that this motherfucker is you right here. or like even if it's a female, look, baby, I see you in this right here, this Malibu right here. Woo!
Yeah.
Let your hair down, baby. When you driving this, then you just paint them the picture. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's weird. Like we don't go on test drives. We just send people out right now, and then we like disinfect the vehicles. So we
Yeah.
disinfect before they test drive. So and then once they get back, we
is
disinfect.
that a job description for somebody right now? Like remember the people used to detail the cars at every dealership. There's a motherfucker details the cars. They're a disinfectant motherfucker.
Our detail guys go crazy. Our detail guys disinfect cars like motherfuckers because they have to now. Like it's nuts. Like you get into a car and like you can like just smell the disinfectants in there. It's nuts.
You know what's crazy? That smells like home to me though. 'Cause all our shit be clean like that. It gotta be though. Hold
For
on, give me
real.
1 second. I'm at 10. There's 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. See how I froze time there? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I
Hell
froze.
yeah.
It was clearly like 7 seconds.
I'll give you a 4.8.
It was like 4.8. There you go. Or you know what? See, I'm telling you, bro. This time, so time still moves the same over there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
2020. Well,
Yeah,
life in
it's-
2021.
60
I'm gonna-
seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an
I'm
hour.
gonna
You
be
know.
there soon. I'll
I
meet
mean,
you there.
hey, if you make it out of 2020, you're gonna be there soon.
Woo, I know, right? Anything could happen still. Hold on. You know what I mean? Hold on. Where's my sword? Give me my pirate sword. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? We can't be too
shit.
careful here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still in the apocalypse over there.
Right? It's going down. Shit liable to hit the fan any second. You know what I mean? I almost can't wait till
fuck.
2021 and then you could like excel. Like, all right. Is that what? Did you have that moment?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because at one point, you know, I was on a smooth 2020 Bogart rant, and you're like, hey, by the way, you know what I mean? Happy New Year, where I'm at. I'm like, oh shit! I ranted all the way. I had a 2020 rant. I carried you all the way into 2021.
Wouldn't expect it any other way, bud.
I remember you gave me the heads up at 20 minutes out. Like 20 minutes next year. Like boom, and I was like, all right, I got a few rants in me. I'm just ballparking time, but then boom, I got to take us all the way there. Oh shit!
Fuck. All right, well, folks, that's 2020 in a nutshell. / welcome to 2021 from my time. We're gonna take a shot, and I'm gonna let Bogart spend the rest of the night with his family. But
Yeah, let me go get a beer for the shot.
he's gotta get a beer. Get a beer, wash it down. He's that kind of guy. I don't. I bet you were both drinking Tito's too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking Tito's or what?
Yep.
Yep.
Tito's has kind of been like the 2020. Like I've always drank Tito's. I've been fucking with Tito's. I don't know, maybe 5-6 years.
Tito's
One of
is slaps.
Yeah, one of my best friends, he fucked with Tito's because like back in 2016, I started doing like a keto diet, and then he was like, and then you know, like one of my brothers from another, you know, he was simultaneously doing the same shit as me. He's like, oh, I'm on a keto diet. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I drink Tito's, and like I always drink Patron, bro, like Patron Silver. That's my shit. I drink Patron Platinum. I like the clear Patrons. You know what I mean? And like, but I always was a vodka guy too, Kettle One, shit like that.
Sure.
But like, you know, he was like, yo, this is Tito's is keto friendly. What?
Yeah.
And you know, my girl she was on a keto diet at the time. So like now we're just drinking Tito's, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, it just kind of stuck with me, you know what I mean? Like,
it's pretty good vodka.
yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hey,
mad at it.
Tito's, give me money.
Tito's, give me money.
Oh fuck! Happy New Year, Bogart.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, BWB.
Oh fuck!
Whoa, what you drinking over there?
A little bit of Busch Light and Tito's.
Yeah, Busch Light, give me my name. And
Honestly,
Bud Light.
holy fuck! I mean, Busch Light. Come on, I had a whole wall of you behind me at one point.
Right? I remember this.
when I was on episodes. I just want these guys to be like, here you go.
You know why I fuck with you too, bro, is because, you know, we have the logic down. We're gonna drink liquor and then light beers because for longevity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a marathon, not a sprint, bud.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got the logic down, bro. This is accurate.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, hey, appreciate y'all listening. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Bogart, shout out your socials for the people, eh?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Check me out at the GMM Network on IG and Twitter. You can subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube. And most importantly, you can find me on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. Shout out to the whole gang. Shout out to the family. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Hey, all right, folks. Hey, check out Bogart. He's a fucking legend. Also, check out
your version's better. Your version's definitely better.
Check out everyone on the Rum Boys. Shout out to the Admiral. Cannot thank you enough, Robbie J. Hey, appreciate y'all listening. Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in to 2020. What a year. If you happen to miss the episode, you can catch it tomorrow. It will be on all podcast platforms.
Yeah, and subscribe to the BWB
yeah.
channel, man.
Oh, fuck. I completely forgot. I forgot.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
I'm not
it's
used
new.
to being on YouTube and shit.
You got to throw that in your arsenal now.
Yeah. I'm not used to being on YouTube and Twitch. Oh, yeah. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey, throw me a like. Throw me all that shit, please.
Yeah, drop
Rate,
a comment.
review.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Tell
All
me,
the
hey,
bad
what's
bitches
up?
throw them the ass. You know, let's go.
Send a peach emoji. You know what it is. Hey, follow the Twitch. You know what? Follow me on Twitter at Blitz with Blake. And once again, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Cannot thank you enough. And take her sleazy, everyone.
Hey.